India has a new young adult fantasy novel, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about it. Honestly, talking about books is a very usual affair for me, but it has been very long since I actually felt like penning down my thoughts about a book, and this is one such book. So before you watch this video, make sure you make a note in your head that you're gonna read my blog review as well after watching this video. So let's get started. Hi there, I'm Manpreet. I make book related videos on this channel, and in today's video I'm going to review a book which has been written by an Indian author, and it's a young adult fantasy novel. But before we start that, make sure you're subscribed. Check it now, because YouTube is kind of unsubscribing people without even telling them. Did you know that? And turn your notifications on so that you catch all of my videos. So let's get started. The young adult fantasy book that I'm talking about is Inkredia, Loven of Brida by Sarang Mahajan. It's obviously gonna be a series, a young adult fantasy series by an Indian author. Yep. The book was sent to me by the publisher for review. This book is actually going to be a 4-book series, so I'm really excited to wait for the next books in the series. Honestly, I'm not excited. I'm lying. I really hate waiting for the books when I want to read them. But only the first book is out, and I'm going to be talking about what I think about this book in a spoiler-free manner. A young boy named Luvan has nothing but his elder sister Meg and his best friend Najo, and he's living in a very small town of Brida where people are oppressed due to the heavy taxes imposed by the head of the town. Nobody dares to disobey Lord Gruvak, and yet, on a self-destructive streak, our hero of the story refuses to pay the tax, and then hell breaks loose. Now he's on the run, trying to get away from these very strong beings that, according to Luvan, only existed in tales until now. As a result, the trio actually sets out on a long journey just to survive from the wrath of Lord Gruvak, only to be hunted by more stronger, magical, and more dangerous beings. That's what the story of the book is about. I mean, I can go on and on about what the book is about, but I don't think you really want to know that. You really want to know whether the book is good or not, right? My heart is currently playing a tug of war, whether to like this book absolutely or whether to dislike this book. There are so many good things in the book, and yet there are things that I did not like. There's particularly one thing that sums up everything I did not like, and that is world building. See, when you're writing a fantasy novel, the toughest task of the author is the world building, because you are introducing your readers to an entirely different world with entirely different creatures, and if you are not able to do that perfectly, something is always going to be missing in the book. Now, in this book, there are some things that haven't been explained well, keeping aside the many things that author says to reveal in the end of the book, which is pretty good, but we are talking about world building right now. My personal opinion is that world building could have used a little bit more space. It could have been a little bit more well explained, so that the reader could be at ease with the book while reading about all these creatures or all these events that are happening in the book. Now, you may say that it's just one thing, but it does make a huge difference to the book. Anybody would tell you that. Listen, the whole writing in the book is highlight worthy. I mean, there are metaphors and phrases that have been used in the book that can be used only by a person who has real talent of writing. I mean, this kind of writing talent is very rare. So writing aspect, I would give it like 10 out of 5 stars. I mean, there are so many highlights in this book for me. I really liked the writing aspect and all those expressions. Perfect. Now, even though I felt that the world building has had a bad impact on the plot, it still didn't fail to make my heart race. New characters and creatures are introduced in the book all the time, and you do wish that you could understand these creatures better, but you keep rushing to see what happens next in the book. The second thing that I really loved about the book was the closing. Like, the closing is extraordinary. There are so many things revealed in the end, and yet there are so many things to look for in the next book that the author left in the end. Do you get my point? I tried my best to not make this comment, but I have to compare this Indian author to the other Indian authors I've read. And honestly, most of the authors just ruin their book in the end. I think they think that people will look forward to the next book if they do that mess up in the end. But I believe my kind of readers never really feel good about it. I am actually referring to a very specific author, but if you're my true viewer, you will guess that. Comment now. Coming back to talking about this book, I would say the closing of this book is the best I have read so far in the 100+ Indian books I have read. Discussing the characters, the normal ones are quite impressive. The magical beings, however, they get crushed beneath the weight of the not so good world building. And yet, I would have to say that there are some character descriptions which I would say you would not find these kind of character descriptions in other books, because it's about how you look at the character, like how you make the character in your head. And this kind of description is like all the books should have this kind of character description, but only for the humans part. I have quoted my favorite character description in the book in my blog review, so do check out my blog review after watching this video for sure. I'm totally on promoting my blog review. Another thing that I really liked was that while you do notice some things that are missing due to the world building, there are some observations that are like, wow, how did he think that? Or wow, I have never seen this in a book before. For example, the subtle differences of people that have ridden for a long time on a horse, and when they get down, how do they feel? Comparing it to our lives, when we travel for a long time, when we are on a train or in a car for hours, and then we get out of it, how do our legs feel? I have read many books that include travel, but I have not seen any book that captured that expression. So I really liked it. Now do you see why the tug of war is so difficult game to play for me right now? There are so many things to like about this book. I really loved the writing, the characters, the human characters, and some of the character descriptions, and the plot was really fast paced, and it seemed like a very interesting story. I'm definitely looking forward to read the next 3 books in the series. I really liked it that much, but at the same time, I do have a problem with world building. I feel like that is something that could have been better, that can be improved like about 50 times in the next book, and I'm hoping it gets improved because I need answers, guys. I need answers, and I need to imagine these characters in a well manner, and I need to do that. So I'm hoping this is improved in the next book, and I'm hoping I get to read the next book very soon. So my overall ratings for this book is 3.8 out of 5 stars. Yes, all those stars have been cut just because of the world building. Rest of it is like, I really liked reading it. So if you're thinking, Manpreet, whether I should read this book or not, if you are a person who's not going to have a big problem with the world building aspect, go ahead and pick up this book, because otherwise it's really good. But if you have a problem with that, you may want to skip it. That is what I think about Inkredia, Logan of Prida by Sarang Mahajan. Do let me know if you have read this book. Have you liked it? A lot of people have tagged me in their pictures and all that, like, Manpreet, we are reading this. So let me know what you think about it in the comments down below right now. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is Manpreet signing off. I'll be back with another video very soon.